All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just loosen up these connections just a itty bit. I'll eventually take off everything, take out the fuses, clean up all the wire, and especially the lugs. I will definitely do that. It'd be really nice if I could keep this the way it is. So now since this is out and this is all grody and just cruddy, you can see, look how gross that looks. Well, I guess I can start off by taking out all these fuses. I'm just gonna take out the fuses in the front, not gonna worry about the rear ones. She's out. I wanna fix that. See that copper wire sticking out? I don't want that. I want it to be nice and clean. Nice and clean install, man. Well now, since the fuses are out, I gotta clean up the fuse cases too. I might want to actually disconnect the rear fuses too, just so that wire isn't live, because right now that wire is live. It's hooked up to my rear battery, but I have fuses back there, so I might just disconnect that, so maybe I can clean this wire. Maybe, I don't really know. I just went ahead, disconnected the rear battery, but to check and see if it's disconnected properly, you check and see for a common known source, or to see if check and see if your voltmeter is working. So this is resting at 12.5, right? So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to stick the lead inside of here, and I'm going to touch that and touch it, and we got nothing. So that's good. That means that I disconnected it. So, yep. Now that wire shouldn't be live anymore, and I can safely do whatever I want to it. So I'll go ahead and just take these off. I like the rear battery post better. I didn't show you, but the Toolmaker Inputs terminal, it doesn't have a washer, but it has like a, I don't know what you'd call it. The bolt is almost like it has an attached washer on it, and then it has grooves on it, so you don't need a washer. But I bought these ones before I bought that one, so you must have changed design or something. These ones are the 7 lug. The ones in the back I think are like 5 lug. But I'll just put that aside. I'll take the this one off. You can see the lug that was on it, and I bet you that I'll be able to put, yep, see that? Look, I just broke that wire, so sweet. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna disconnect is the power for the car. These two, I don't know exactly what does what. This one I think goes to the main fuse box, and then this goes to my starter, I believe, if I remember correctly. But this will completely disconnect my car from the battery, so I think my car, I might have to reset some stuff with my radio, but that's okay. It's not really a big deal. If I'm too slow with this, it's gonna probably spark and all that, so I'm gonna be real careful. And then I'll just go ahead and take it off. There we go. And now what I'll go ahead and do is just tape these together. There we go. It's the engine ground right there. Go ahead and take off this last one. I should have actually disconnected the ground first before I messed with it, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't get shocked, so we're good. Alrighty, time to pull her out. I think it's like over 30 pounds, something like that. Maybe we can make some sort of bracket so it doesn't just slide around, because it was just sitting there. I mean, I've had no issues with it, but there's some rust. There's a washer. So here's the battery. You can tell it's, it's looked a little bit better. It's had better days. So I'm gonna go ahead, just take off these little terminal block things, clean these off first, and then clean the battery. And I'm probably gonna end up just taking off this sticker thing. I'll take it off of this side too, just because, well, clearly it can't handle whatever is happening underneath my hood. And there's like bed liners still stuck on here, so I'll go ahead and take that off. And you know, this should be a good looking battery here when I'm done with it. So yeah. So I've been working on this left terminal right here for a while with some sandpaper. It's been taking quite a while to get it all off. And as you see, you know, even with the flash of the camera, you can still see some rings and where the terminals used to be very faintly. There's still some imperfections in there, but you know, you take a look at this one and you can tell pretty big difference. But this is more of a, I'd say, a polished look right here. But I'm thinking I like the brush look more because it's underneath the hood and it's not gonna, you know, probably stay clean too long. So I would rather have it be brushed and have it, you know, already kind of, I don't know, not shiny, because, you know, you see the imperfections in this polished look. And then with this, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it looks really cool. So I think I'm just gonna do the brushed, and I'll show you guys how I cleaned this one. So I used a lot of different methods to clean this one up. I was trying to figure out what was the best way, and I figured out that using a, what is it, the orbital sander with the grit 120. I think 80 grit would be better to start out with, just to get the grime off faster, but you know, this is all I could find. This is the roughest that I had, so I'll go ahead and I'll zoom in for you right on the, there we go. So maybe you can see the grime come off, but here we go. So you can see that it took off the grime pretty good. Let me zoom out of here and show you guys up close. It took off the grime, but it still leaves, I don't know what you'd call that. It gets in the pores of the aluminum, and it's just gross. Deep corrosion. It's not just the surface stuff. Now that we have these terminals pretty much all cleaned up as much as I really want to put effort into them, now we have to clean this. That's gonna be interesting. So I guess I'll just try to figure something out. Here we go. So we should probably start by taking off all this, because it's not gonna, it doesn't look good. There's no saving it. You can see how shiny this one is, besides the pitting or whatever, but hit it with some sandpaper. Shined right up. So in the back the same deal. You can see this one's a lot shinier than this one. This is probably the major part, actually. What we should probably keep clean is because this is what makes contact to those battery terminals. But just, you know, that quick made that connection a whole lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to all my other wires. Real quick though, I'm about to go to bed actually. It's getting a little late, definitely past my bedtime. I've been trying to clean up this battery. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed now, but with the magic of editing, it will be the next day tomorrow. Today, right now, here in a couple seconds, I will see you in a minute. Alright, so it is now the next day. I just roughly cleaned up this battery because there was a lot of, I don't know, you'd call it like schmoo. But right now I'm going to go ahead and put on all these toolmaker inputs that I cleaned up. It's kind of cold out here today. A lot colder than it was yesterday. So I just painted this black real quick. I might do another coat of it, but while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off all these lugs here. They're all dirty. So I've just been cleaning up all these wires and whatnot just to make it look a lot better. Then I'll dry them off with a paper towel. Just a Clorox disinfectant wipe. I guess you could just use a damp towel, wet towel, or some paper towels. Alrighty, it's time to put this battery back in here. I'll eventually make a bracket for it. Alright guys, so that's as much as I wanted to get done for today in this video. I didn't want the video to go over 20 minutes long. In next video, what I'm going to be doing is hooking up everything, and I'm going to be starting it for the very first time. A lot of stuff has been happening in real life. I've just moved out of my parents' house, so that's a pretty big step, but things should be running smoother now, and hopefully I should start uploading more frequently. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.